Hello guys and welcome back. In today's video I will be doing a list which gonna be like top 15 heroes in the game. That list will not include limited heroes and heroes from Elemental City, and also Agatha will not be included in this list. So I picked 15 heroes in this game with my community. I'm part of Bushido community, so they were all helping me with this list, and also Ninja. So thank you guys so much for helping me out. And first we will start with honorable mentions. We got 3 heroes in there. First hero is everyone favorites, especially when it comes to early game. It's not him obviously. It's Makin. Like everyone is using Makin when they start the game. He's just insane DPS hero, and he will like solo carry you through the campaign. He will be also usable in Faction Abyss, in Tower of Mark, and as well as in Guild Boss, but he will fall off later in the game. But he is insane in early and mid game, so yeah. After that we have the OG hero. We have Hezonja. So Hezonja was one of the best HP burners in the game, but lately he does not feel like that strong anymore. So yeah, he becomes insane at exclusive level 1 when he additionally triggers HP burning once when he deals ultimate that applies HP burning. So yeah, Hezonja is used also like in everywhere where is Makin, but it's just like he falls off later on in the game in the farming higher dungeons. But he is still insane hero that requires like one eye at the most, and like second exclusives for more HP burning damage. So yeah, but overall great hero in every single content, and in PvP is okay early in early game. So yeah, other than that you will use him pretty much everywhere in the game. So yeah. Now the last one is also the hero that I still don't have, and that is Nereid. So Nereid deals insane amount of damage, is good in both PvP and PvE. Well, in PvP he falls off later on, but early game and mid game he is solid in PvP. Then in Guild Boss obviously, then we have Tower of Mark when he is a must if you want to clear it. Like if you have him, he will help you clear it so much easy. Then he is also used in like Elemental City, Faction Abyss, and once you get that exclusive level 3 on him, his ultimate will deal more damage, and also exclusive level 2 he will increase his attack by 0.15% up to 15% for every 1% of mastery above 20% he has. So he will have insanely high attack. So yeah, but then again he falls off later on in the game pretty hard. So that being said, let's move to the list. So the list will be based on general usage of the hero, so both PvP and PvE wise. So number 15 is Popper. In PvP he is god tier once he is exclusive level 3. Until then, at E0 he is not good in PvP obviously. He can be niche at E1, so he can just stun everyone when he dies, so he can be niche at level 1. But yeah, you can also use him to remove buffs from the like heroes, or I wanted to say you can use him in Tower of Mark to deal with that shield boss. Also, you can use him in Infection Abyss to decrease enemies' turn meter and apply debuffs. He's also used in, well, you could use him in Endless Cluster as well to reduce turn meter if needed. So yeah, that's pretty. He is more of a PvP hero, but has some usage in PvE. Yeah. So then we are moving to number 15, and my favorite hero, and that is Moloch. Insanely good hero and insanely good looking hero as well. So I recently done a video about him, so if you guys want to check it, feel free to. I will leave link of that video down in description so you can check it out. So Moloch, he is insane. First off, attack up big version on ultimate, then he gonna cast that 5 meteors, and then when he's with other burn based champions or heroes, he will be able to proc that first active skill more often, so he will deal insane amount of damage. And in PvP you can use him early game, mid game he will fall off, and when it comes to PvE you can use him everywhere, like Guild Boss, Tower of Mark, Endless Cluster as well as Elemental City when there is the burn rotation. So he is pretty good hero overall, and with each exclusive he gets better and better, so yeah. Number 13, we have the same hero from the same faction, and that is Zora. So she can be built two ways, either crit damage or well, rather direct damage or dot damage. So it's up to you how you want to build her. So I don't have her, but I heard that she is a must for Endless Cluster. For, like, to be honest, I think it's 26 difficulties above. So above 26 difficulty. So yeah, and she is okay in Poison Team. You can use her in Faction Abyss as well. Guild Boss, I'm not sure how she would be there, because I don't have her, so I can't play around her, but I'm told she's very decent in PvE content. So yeah, in PvP I guess you could use her as well early game, but then mid game and late game she will fall off. But she's insane hero for PvE, especially in Poison Team for Woodring Coast, and is okay for Faction Abyss, so she applies those poisons, so boss deals less damage to you. Then we are moving to the number 12. There we have kinda new hero, or well, somewhat new, and that is Ronai. So Ronai is PvP queen, but is also great in PvE. So what she does is she just hypnotize and puts Feebleness 2 on the enemies, and also a poison, and on her first active skill she will just grant 1 layer of heal on all allies, and also she will increase their turn meter, so that is really nice. And also she will balance initial she will balance the initial effect hit and effect res, increasing the lower one. So you just build her as much with effect hit as you can, so as much effect hit as you can put, and speed pretty much, and a little bit of HP, but mostly want to focus speed and effect hit. And then at exclusive level 1 she will be reducing all enemies turn meter by 8%. So in PvP she will be great, like Ronai and Popper are insane combo, so Popper goes first, then Ronai goes second, which will like pretty much enemies will have like 20% turn meter left after they do their things. So yeah, that is PvP. PvE wise, she is usable in Faction Abyss, in Foresters, so she can manipulate the turn meter. Then he can be used like in Elemental City for a little bit more of poison when that rotation comes, but not, you will not ideally use her in Elemental City. But yeah, mostly you will use her in Faction Abyss and PvP. And like in Tower of Mark as well, she will help you out there as well. So yeah. Then we have Space. Space, one of the best heroes in the game that you can get for free after playing 7 days, and she is insane. Like when you get her on your 7th day, pretty much you just want to build her straight up, because she brings so much to the team. So on ultimate she will heal and also boost turn meter, which is insane, especially in early game when you are not that fast and don't have that good speed gear on. Then her passive, she will be increasing self turn meter by 26% at the beginning of each wave, which is also insane. Then her first active skill, single target hit, that will put reduce their speed by 40% for 2 turns, and also increasing all allies speed by 20%, which is also decent. And then basic attack just reduces their turn meter by 15%, which does increase to 25% once she is E1. So yeah, she is insane hero that you will use both in PvP and PvE, and she becomes even better at exclusive level 3 when she will increase turn meter by 30% instead. So you're gonna use her in PvP and in PvE, especially like because you get her for free after playing 7 days. So who wouldn't use her? So you're gonna use her firstly in Guild Boss. First few days you could use her in Guild Boss, just to make sure you're faster than Guild Boss, like in first few days I would say. Then you will obviously remove her from the team, but you will keep using her like in campaign until you finish it. Then she will be insane in Tower of Mark, in Faction Abyss, like pretty much you're gonna use her everywhere early game. Then in mid game you will start using her less, like you will be using her only in Faction Abyss and in Tower of Mark. So yeah, and obviously you're gonna keep using her in PvP forever, or well, in Classic Arena probably not when you reach endgame, but you will still use her in Championship at least. Alright, moving to number 10, we have also an OG hero that I just pulled recently, and that is Quinlan. So Quinlan is insane. He is dealing damage and freezing and applying HP burn, so he does so much. So he will just CC waves forever. Like every time this is available, he will just CC everyone. The good thing about him as well is once you get him to E2, he will get more turn meter for every enemy target whose speed is higher than him. So you just build him around 1500 speed, a little bit more, and that should be it. Also, he just got CC everywhere pretty much, so every ability of his got CC. So he's insane. He is usable in PvP and in PvE. In PvE you will use him everywhere but guild boss. So Tower of Mark, Faction Abyss, Elemental City, I guess, until you get someone better when it comes to HP burn. And pretty much that is it. You're gonna obviously use him in Broken Land as well, and in Withering Coast. So yeah, and he's gonna stay in PvP as well for a while until you reach endgame. Then you'll probably just be using him in Championship, I would say. So yeah, but overall he is such a great hero, but he shines at exclusive level 2. Then moving to number 9, we have also one of my favorite heroes, and no, that is not Alicia, that is Chardonel. So he got special kit, if I would is how I would say. So he's defense based hero, but all you want on him is HP, effect hit and mastery. You don't want defense. Well, and the reason being is that the bleed damage inflicted by Chardonel is calculated based on his defense, and now increases Chardonel's defense by 6% of his initial HP cap, and that it goes up to 8% of his initial HP cap. So you just put as much HP as you can on him. When it comes to his skills, his ultimate, he'll just be applying so he will deal 5 stages of defense of of direct damage and bleed damage. Then his first active will just grant shield based off 40% of his max HP. And yeah, at E0 he is solid hero, pretty solid, but with every exclusive he gets better and better. So exclusive level 1, he will put, or rather apply heavy bleed 2, so they will take more bleed damage, which is great. Exclusive level 2 is like mini Santa, like if you have Santa E1 for example, that's what he does. He puts speed up on everyone big version, so that is already insane. So you got more bleed damage on exclusive level 1, speed up on exclusive level 2, so what could be better than that? Well, it is attack down 40% on exclusive level 3, and also he will be applying the Forgotten Wound, so every time allies use active skill on the target that has Forgotten Wound, they will heal themselves specific amount of HP, does it say? So yeah, so they will heal 10% of Chardonel's max HP. So this guy becomes insane in PvE. In PvP, not that great, but when it comes to PvE, he's just insane, and he's cool looking guy, like you can't say he does not look cool. So yeah, that being said, we go to the number 8. Number 8 is everyone's favorite hero, and that is not Ina, that is Ahn Hee Jin. So just insane looking hero. Well, she looks good, you know. And other than that, she'll just be applying HP burn to 5 layers immediately. Like she gonna apply 5 HP burn layers. So yeah, she just applies insane amount of, and she deals insane amount of damage with HP burning. So, but she'll be reducing HP burning damage inflicted by Ahn Hee Jin to 60% of its initial value, but there is 100% to inflict 2 layers of HP burning when instead of 1 each time. So pretty much, yeah, she will be applying so many HP burns layers on everyone. So everyone will have the 5 layers of HP burn, and then with each exclusive she gets better, like exclusive level 3 burst of gunfire deals extra 2 stages of attack. If burst of gunfire didn't kill anyone in its duration, Ahn Hee Jin will gain 1 layer of magic warhead for 2 turns, and cooldown of burst gunfire will be reduced by 1 turn, and then magic warhead increases the damage dealt by burning bullet. So yeah, so she will have like reduced HP burning damage inflicted by her, but she will get that damage back once she reaches specific exclusive level. So she's an insane hero for PvE. When it comes to PvP, early game you could use her, but she will fall off mid game. So yeah, just if you happen to pull her, you will progress so much fast in the game, especially in the Blue Mark and in Faction Abyss, and also in Wuthering Coast as well. So yeah, now we are moving to first mythic hero of the list, and that is Nereid. So the thing Nereid does is she increases enemies' direct damage and dot damage taken by 12%. And if enemies have any debuff, this effect will be increased up to 45% when they take direct damage or dot damage from all allies. So yeah, just the passive is insane. So her ultimate, she will just enter the Way of the Ocean status for 2 turns and summon a manta ray to attack all enemies, dealing 10% of Nereid's max HP with 100% to inflict drowned. For 2 turns, enemies take damage by 10% of Nereid's max HP for once when being inflicted with drowned, and at the beginning of the turn of enemies with drowned, this damage is considered as HP burning damage, and the boss takes 300% of the initial damage. So yeah, she will just be dealing insane amount of damage. When it comes to PvP, she is okay in like early game and mid game, but end game she will fall off pretty hard. And then also on her first active skill, she has chance to apply Confused and Suffocated, which is not anything special. So yeah, so not that big of a deal or anything game changing, which can come in handy of course if you apply Suffocate on someone and Confused, but it will not change that much. So you'll be using her everywhere, and literally everywhere, in Faction Abyss, in Tower of Mark, in Guild Boss, in Broken Land, in Wuthering Coast, like pretty much every content possible. So yeah, that being said, we are moving to number 6, and number 6 is pretty good hero, pretty annoying hero, especially if you're on a new server and you see him in PvP, and that is Mamuk. So Mamuk is pretty good hero, even at E0. Like, he's top 6 hero. So what he does? So first of all, he just puts Taunt on himself and Immortal for 2 turns. And the other part is he increases all allies' speed by 40%. So only that is pretty insane. then his passive, he cannot be frozen or stunned or hypnotized. So he is immune to all of that. So you can't freeze him, you can't stun him, you can't hypnotize him. And then also he will grant any ally a shield by 20% of Mamuk's HP for 2 turns if the ally takes single skill damage that is above 20% of max HP, or if they're inflicted with freeze or stun or hypnotize. So on new server, this is pretty much insane. And now the best part of it is he steals all buffs, expect the attribute buffs from all allies. Deals 200 damage, and now there is the crucial part. And they extend the duration of all buffs on self by 1 turn. So when you upgrade it, it will be 3 turn cooldown, right? So, and he puts Taunt and Immortal for 2 turns. Then you'll use first active into ultimate, and then you will be able to, so when this skill, when Taunt and Immortal will be about to expire, you will put it up again immediately, and you will cycle between those skills. That makes Mamuk so insane everywhere. So in PvP, if you're a new server, if you don't have any buff removal, you will not be able to kill him. He kind of falls off late game. He is still insane mid game, but falls off late game. Then, which exclusives help him a little bit, so he gets more, like he will heal after 2 turns depending on how much damage he took. Then here he will gain an additional 35% healing effect, and also he will grant self extra max HP cap by 30%. So yeah, but at E0 he is insane hero. You will also use him everywhere, especially in guild boss if you don't have Santa. So in guild boss you will also put the taunt, so the skill that guild boss uses to stun you, it will focus Mamuk, but he will not stun Mamuk because he can't be stunned. And also he'll put speed up on everyone, so he's a must for guild boss if you don't have E1 Santa. So yeah, overall pretty insane hero. Hero number 5, also one of my favorite heroes, is the Vrister. So Vrister is good everywhere. So first of all, his first active skill increases all allies attack by 40% and then grants the stealth to self and the allies with aliens. Aliens will go on the ally with the highest attack, so he will share part of Vrister's attack, will go to the highest attack hero in that team. So also his ultimate, he will deal damage, and also there is 50% chance to inflict a stun for 1 turn, and that is great. And then this effect cannot be blocked by enemies, excluding boss, and then deals 1 extra stage of damage equal to 25% of boss's max HP, caps at 1000% of Vrister's attack. So yeah, that stun cannot be blocked by enemies, which is good. So yeah, and then also on basic attack he got joint attack, so the allies with aliens will pursue and attack the same target 1 time. So he's just insane. Obviously you will use him both in PvP and PvE. With each ultimate, with each exclusive, he gets even better, but the biggest one is exclusive level 3. So he needs that exclusive level 1 though, so he acts 1 extra turn after casting Unbreakable Pact, which is first active skill, and he also increases the turn meter of the ally with aliens by 30%. So he is a must for speed teams in PvP. And then exclusive level 3, there is a 70% chance to reduce target's defense by 60% for 2 turns before ball lightning deals damage. And then the other part that is pretty good is he will also apply the eternal death. So the enemy is killed by that. So the enemy is killed while they have eternal death on them, cannot be revived. So for example, that will be insanely good in Tower of Mark, that last level, when the ads on the left and right will revive every time the boss uses his ultimate. But with Restore that will not happen, and the boss will not be able to revive them, which will help every new player a lot. Other than that, you will be using Restore in PvP, and that is in Guild Boss. You will probably use him till end game in Guild Boss. Even in once you reach end game, you will still be using him in Guild Boss because he is insane. Then also you will use him in Tower of Mark, as I said, in Faction Abyss, and pretty much in every content possible you will be able to use Restore. In PvP as well, as I said, speed team is a must. So he's a must for speed team, so you want him in there. Alright, moving to number 4, and that is the same faction actually, and it's Ben Austin. We all know how good and insane Ben Austin is. Like, I don't really need to talk about him, but I will. So, ultimate, he will just remove all buffs from the target, and then everyone in the team will pursue attack against that target. Basic is pretty much the same basic that Restore has. It just, instead of chance to stun, he has chance to reduce their defense. And then his first active skill is that he will deal 2 stages of attack, which has chance of increasing the cooldowns of the targets by 1 turn. And then exclusive level 1, he also steal 10% of target's turn meter, which is pretty decent. His passive, Ben Austin has 28% chance to cleanses all control effects from any ally who falls under control effects. This is good, especially in PvP. And then exclusive level 2, targets who have control effects cleansed by King's Benevolence additionally gain 50% effect rest for 2 turns. So it will be harder for enemies to CC your heroes when that procs. And then exclusive level 3 here, it is that it will resets its cooldown if it fails to kill the enemy target. So this skill is insane in Guild Boss. So yeah, when it comes to Ben Austin, you will use him everywhere, in every content possible. In the Guild Boss, in Faction Abyss, in Tower of Mark, in PvP, in Classic Arena, in Advanced Arena, in Championship, like you will use him everywhere. And now we are reaching top 3, and hero number 3 is again from the same faction, and that is Kathrine. Pretty insane hero as well, and a good looking hero. So what Kathrine does is, her basic is just inflicts feebleness on the target, and that's it, you know, just feebleness. Then first active skill is Consolidation. Then on her passive she will restore all allies HP by 4.8% of her max HP at the beginning of each turn. And then here she will put counter attack and shield. So even at E0 she is insane. but she shines with every exclusive. So exclusive level 1, she will also cleanses one layer of debuff for every ally at the random when the burst of energy is triggered. So she will also be cleansing, like if you're running high speed Kathrine and you face either a Cinta or a Nacelle, she will cleanse that either freeze or silence. So she is really good at exclusive level 1. Exclusive level 2 is that the shield value will be increased to 60% of Kathrine's max HP. So that means even bigger shield, which will help you both PvP and PvE. And then she shines at exclusive level 3 that she will gain one more action turn after she releases Solid Guardian. So, and keep in mind then the passive will proc twice. So passive will proc, she will use this, passive will proc, and then she will use this. So she becomes really insane at exclusive level 3 and hard to deal with because she will be cleansing CCs that enemies put. So yeah, you will use her pretty much everywhere. In Classic Arena she will fall off endgame, but you will still use her in Advanced Arena and Championship. When it comes to PvE, you will use her in dungeons and every content possible, especially in Guild Boss and Tower of Mark. So yeah, you will pretty much use her until endgame. Then you will most likely replace her by other heroes that are better for higher dungeons levels to farm. So yeah. That being said, we have only 2 heroes left. And it was really a close call who should be first and who should be second. But most people said that Nita is number 2. So Nita is second best hero in the game. And she's just insane in PvP and PvE. Like speed team with Nita and she will just melt everyone. She's gonna melt everyone and those wings look pretty cool, not gonna lie. So Nita's ultimate deals 3 stages of attack damage and bleed damage and then has 60% chance to inflict 1 layer of poison. Then her first active skill, she will deal damage, inflict deep poison for 2 turns, and then deals the extra damage which increases by 10% damage for each layer of poison target has, up to 100% damage. And that extra damage is considered poison damage. So she will deal pretty much insane amount of damage. Then there is just basic attack just deals damage and inflicts a layer of poison and restores self HP by 2.5% of max HP for every layer of poison the target has. So that can also come in handy. So she becomes insane with every exclusive level. So exclusive 1 increases self attack by 10%. Meanwhile, additionally triggers poison effect 1 time after bury, deals 3 stages of damage, which is pretty nice. And the bury is ultimate. Then we have exclusive level 2, increases the self hit by 12%. Meanwhile, there is an 80% chance to inflict 1 layer of poison on all enemies for 2 turns at the beginning of self turn. So yeah, she will be applying the poison just by getting a turn. So that is pretty insane in PvE. And then exclusive level 3 increases self poison damage dealt by 15% and upgrades the deep poisoning 1 to and upgrades the deep poisoning 1 inflicted by bondage to deep poisoning 2. Meanwhile, there is 100% chance to inflict block buff for 1 turn when bondage deals damage. So yeah, so usually in some scenarios you will use first active skill in PvP, and then you will use ultimate. And in PvP, in PvE, you will use her everywhere. You will start with ultimate obviously there. So yeah, you will most likely stop using her in guild boss after you reach a specific heroes for the guild boss, but you will keep using her everywhere else other than guild boss later on. And in PvP you will use her everywhere, in classic arena for cleave team, as well as in advanced arena and championship. So she's insane hero, but there is someone better than her, and that is, as you already can guess, it's one and only Nordak. So Nordak, after rework, he's a beast. He's the best hero in the game, best tank hero in the game. Obviously the best DPS hero in the game is Nita, but the best tank hero and support hero is Nordak. So Nordak, he gonna cleanse all attribute debuffs on first active skill, and then he will grant shield by 60% of Nordak's max HP for 2 turns. So 60% shield of his max HP, that's huge. Then his passive is that at the beginning of each wave grants all allies divine shield, equal to 10% of Nordak's max HP. So divine shield cannot be stacked, removed or stolen. All allies will be re-granted a divine shield when their turns end if Nordak is still alive. Nordak will gain 1 layer of divine wild when he gains divine shield each time. Divine light deals extra damage, yada yada, nothing important. We'll go back to his passive in a moment. And then we have his ultimate. Grants all allies damage, immunity and block debuff for 2 turns. And shares all self buffs with allies. So this skill is just insane. So 2 turns you will not take any damage, and you will not be, and no one will be able to put any debuff on you. So when it comes to farming dungeons and PvE, that is insane, as well as in PvP. And now to his passive. So he will be increasing max HP cap of heroes, which why he is also great in PvP. So all of your heroes will have higher HP cap once he is E3. But Nordak is usable at E0 in PvE. You don't need more, you can just get Nordak at E0 and then get your Nita to exclusive level 3. All of those Nordak exclusives are more of a PvP oriented. So yeah, Nordak is pretty much insane, the best hero in the game, the best shielder, he is the best support in the game, and also deals pretty insane amount of damage when he has his thing around him. So yeah, that concludes this video. So tell me in the comments down below what you think about that, what would you change, what you don't agree with. If I get enough comments, I will do another video reacting and answering to the comments. So yeah, that being said guys, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.